field. I hit some over there too. And, over there. So it's getting really deep up in here right now.
Well, the exciting news is we started digging finally, but we immediately hit rock where our basement is going to go. So we're going to have to deal with that. They're actually calling in for a ram jack to be attached to this track hoe so that he can break up all of the rock. This guy is an experienced excavator, and based on his experience, he is predicting that there is a decent amount of rock right where we need to dig our basement. And you're just going to have to wait and see if he's right. I wasn't able to make it out to the land right when he started digging, so when I showed up, he had already started a few piles. And if you'll notice, there are some different piles here. He is scraping off the topsoil part and kind of leaving it in a stack. And then here in our area, the type of clay that we have, you can actually reuse for backfill and some other stuff. So as he gets deeper into that clay, he's setting piles of clay to the side so that we can reuse those also. Then the topsoil, after it sits out during this whole build, we'll be able to put it back on the top, and that way grass will grow, and that does better for surface stuff. It is a little sad to see some of this grass getting dug up, because after mowing it the whole season and for multiple years now, I've gotten it to where it's looking pretty good. But what I told my son was, we'll make it look better later. There's also a little bit of strategy to where you place the piles. He went over some of this with my builder ahead of time, just so that we had piles where we would need them later. So where we're going to need backfill anyway, we are sure to put a few piles near where that's going to be and not be in the way of construction, so that we have to spend less time moving piles of dirt. Often with some of these heavy machine operators, that's just what eats up a lot of your costs, is just time. My builder wanted to question him on exactly where all he thought the rock would be based on his experience. So he got down in the hole, and the guy was showing him with the track hoe exactly what he had found.
What are you thinking? Is this stone right here? Is this stone?
Yeah, it's solid.
What are the chances to grab it right here and pull this way?
I tried it up there a while ago, and there's no use fooling around with it. The best thing to do is clean it all off and then start breaking it off the grade.
How do we know it's not only 6 inches deep?
Well, I'll tell you that down here too, but it goes all the way around through here.
What the hell, man? Can't you build your house over there?
It's all solid underneath there. It's pure on solid. It's not shale pieces no more. I know this the way it felt just by pulling that one piece up.
I mean, we got another 4 feet to go, right?
The next day I got word that the loader was there, so I went out in my truck, drove the new driveway as you saw in the last video, and I just wanted to see what he was doing with the loader. There were still distinctive piles all around, but there were more of them, and they were quite a bit larger. The ram that they needed to use to break up the rocks was not available for a couple days because it was being used on another job, so he continued to use the loader to just make progress on the other areas of the dig.
Well,
There's a hole behind us.
we broke ground. It's exciting. It's kind of surreal.
Mhm.
It's been such a long time coming, it feels like. Alexander's living his best life. You can probably see him on the dirt pile way back there in the background. He woke up not feeling great, so he got to stay home from school and play on dirt piles.
Yep.
That's a good boy life right there. What are you thinking? What's going through your mind with digging and seeing this? Because I was out here yesterday, but you weren't.
No.
I was just sending you pictures.
So I saw a few pictures yesterday, and there were little piles, and I wanted to see the big piles. I wanted to see the dirt actually come out of the hole.
And we came out here today, and the front end loader wasn't here yesterday, but he has been making some serious work with the front end loader. We ran into a big rock down in about 5 feet deep, maybe a little deeper, right where the basement is going to be below our master bedroom. So they had to bring in this big ram so that they could hook it up to this machine here and bust it up. He's already busted some of it up, but he's going to clean some more out, see what he needs to do, and break more of it if he needs to. But it's pretty exciting.
Mm-hmm.
The digging phase is finally here. We've been waiting forever. And it seems weird to just sit here and watch him dig. I told him that. I was like, sorry if we're just sitting here. We've been waiting to do this for 2.5 years.
Yep.
And he was like, I understand. It's exciting. So we're just like sitting here watching him dig.
Of course, after waiting for so long to start digging and having such a dry summer, then all of a sudden, when we're a few days into digging, it starts raining, and he worked through that rainstorm. It wasn't that bad, but it continued that week and ended up holding us up for a little while. His method was to kind of use the track hoe for the precision to go all around the outside where the boundaries had been marked and break it up and kind of make piles and loose. And then once he had this loader on site, he would get down in there with the loader and just scoop out the mass of everything, putting it in piles. Then after a while, if he would hit rock, he would get back on the track hoe and start using that again to break it up enough where he could get back on the loader. As you see here, there are more rocks, and he would clear out those just as he went.
Good grab.
Later that day, we went and grabbed the other two kids and then went back out there to see what progress he had made.
Emily, have I showed you these?
You want to explain to her what it is? He wants to show you. All these rocks he's had to break up with that thing on the track hoe from basically our basement right there. It's all been layered in here, and Rebecca went and checked it out, but there's still a bunch of rock. Looks like he's broken up and then scooped a little bit at a time out of there. I don't think he's even quite to the level down that he needs to go yet. Like this right here is a big rock still that he'll have to probably break up depending on how much he has to get out of here. Some of them are really thick, like that one where he broke it, really thick. It's a 10-inch thick piece of limestone. They're way bigger than they look and incredibly heavy.
As you can see here, at about 4 feet down, he hit solid rock, and it has been solid rock going down ever since. This was another whole day that it took him just to break up about another half a foot down of rock for half of the basement. The loose stuff you see is just where it ended up being at the end of that day, and he did not have time to excavate it out of there. I was getting antsy, and I don't do well just sitting still, so I decided to go out with the tractor and the bucket and grab some of these rocks that were big but not so big that I couldn't handle them. Hopefully we can use them in some landscaping coming up. And that's basically what a lot of these days consisted of. I would come back out either later in the day or whenever I was able to get out there and just check out his progress. And you had to kind of pay attention to see if it was a little bit lower, and it was. And then there's still a bunch of loose rock. And as you can see, the farther down we went, the more rock we hit. Basically, the whole house is sitting on a giant rock, which I guess there could be worse things.
Okay, just to show you how big this pile of rocks is. I'm 6'4". This thing is towering above me. That's easily 10 feet, right? Maybe a little bit more. You know, this is about 9, and I won't reach the top with that. So it's just crazy, and it goes just on and on and on. All of this came out of our basement.
We had to make a decision pretty early on if we wanted to continue on with breaking up this rock and still have a basement, or change our plans and change our house plans. And we decided we still wanted the basement. We've always wanted one. We want to store a lot of things down there. Plus, it will act like a built-in shelter for us. So even though this was more expensive and ended up taking about 2 weeks longer than we thought it would, we're glad we made the decision.